topography of the Eden, it's a big catchment, combined with climate change and how we've managed land over many years, has resulted in a catchment which isn't resilient in the face of climate change and future flood scenarios. So with climate change, it has changed weather patterns. We now have scenarios where we have lots and lots of water at points, creating flooding, or alternatively, drought. And commonly we now have those two features in the same year. So how do we manage a system which has to respond to both drought and high floods? Working together as a partnership, all pulling together, we can influence this scenario. We can actually change how the catchment works, whether it's hard engineering in somewhere like Carlisle or more natural measures higher up the catchment. And by natural measures, I mean schemes like this one, where we've planted trees near a watercourse. Slowing the flow of water by tree planting, by putting good quality woodland in, by changing vegetation type and character, we can influence the flow of water through those catchments. Interesting, that also impacts on the temperature of water, which is a problem with climate change, and water quality. We can reduce the amount of sediments and pollution getting into watercourses, therefore improving biodiversity. So we can match these two things together. Drought and flooding on the one side, but also water quality and environmental outcomes on the other. They work really well together, and that's where we need to be. Working with partners, working with landowners to achieve all of these outcomes, and we can do it as a partnership together.
Here are two examples of how partners are tackling the management of high flows. In the first, Lancaster University gives an insight into how they collect data to measure the impact of natural flood management measures. This is followed by the Environment Agency talking about their current flood defence works in Carlisle.
Hello, I'm Stuart Mounsey and I'm the Flood Risk Manager for the Environment Agency in Cumbria. I just wanted to take some time to celebrate the launch of the Eden Catchment Plan and also recognise the value of partnership working. We should all be proud of what we've delivered in the Eden over recent times, and that's been through partnership. One of the projects that the Environment Agency's got going at the moment is the Carlisle Flood Risk Management Scheme, and that will be complete just before winter and will protect an additional 1,200 homes, and that will make a real difference to the resilience of the communities, people and businesses of Carlisle. However, if we think about climate change, that challenge is set to grow, and we need to take action and be more ambitious around slowing the flow in the catchment if we're to maintain that resilience. In slowing that flow, it does help in terms of reducing flood risk, but it also offers potential in terms of habitat improvement and wildlife improvement as well. So I'm really looking forward to the next 10 years of working with the Eden Catchment Partnership.
And finally, back to Pete to talk about natural flood management features, ones that work with the landscape to manage high flows.
So what do we mean by natural flood management features? Well, it could be simply putting woodland in, so fencing an area off and planting trees. It could be using leaky dams, so these dams that store temporary amounts of water in a high flow scenario, they store water, they hold it back and then release it. It could be woody features within watercourses, roughening up the water edge, or the river edge, roughening that up, slowing down the flow of water. It could be soil management in fields where we're actually creating more percolation of water down through the soil profile rather than allowing it to run off. It could be decompaction measures. There's multiple different things we can do in the catchment, and there'll be different measures at different points in the catchment, but they all work as one outcome, which is to reduce the impact of high flows on our